I got my very first radar detector in 2000, which was essentially a little black box with 3 dots. I've tried to Google pictures of it. I can't even find it, and I don't even remember what brand it was. But my, how things have changed in the radar detector world, especially if you look at the Escort MAX family, which consists of 6 radar detectors. The MAX3, the MAX360, the MAX360C, the MAX360 Mark II, or MK2 for short. In this video, you'll hear me use those terms interchangeably, Mark II and MK2, but the MAX360 MK2, the MAX360C MK2, and the MAXcam 360C. Let's look at the fundamental differences between each of these 6 radar detectors. And for more radar detector videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Let's lay the groundwork by starting at the very top of the mountain, the Escort Redline 360C. If you had to characterize and simplify the Redline 360C down to 3 features, it would be the triple antenna design, in particular the 2 front antennas, the stealth technology, so it's invisible to things like VG2, and Escort says that comes from a proprietary material coating technology on the Redline 360C, and then the black fin DSP chip. DSP is short for digital signal processing. So far, the Redline 360C is the only portable Escort radar detector with the 3 antennas and a truly stealth design. But the Blackfin DSP is no longer exclusive to the Redline 360C. It started to make its way into the MAX family. Let's define digital signal processing, or DSP for short, and the role the Blackfin DSP plays within the Escort MAX family. Supplied by Analog Devices, the Blackfin is a family of embedded microprocessors designed for a wide range of applications, radar detectors included. The embedded Blackfin DSP chip helps the unit better decipher between any number of different radar signals that could be present in a given area while you're driving. Which ones are real threats versus false alerts, and which ones should be prioritized on the display. When the Escort unit detects a radar source, the Blackfin DSP chip analyzes it and presents that information on the display screen, showing vital information like signal strength, band types, and frequency. The ability for a radar detector to quickly analyze and sort radar sources to this depth will result in a quieter drive with fewer false alerts, especially on X-band and K-band frequencies. When you glance at other members of the Escort MAX family, you will see that they have digital signal processing, but the inclusion of the Blackfin DSP, that takes it to the next level, and as such, takes the false alert filtering to the next level. We have the Redline 360C at the very, very top of all of Escort stuff, but as far as the MAX family, the entry-level MAX3. The MAX3 debuted in July of 2020, and it's a model we've always liked in the Escort MAX family. The price is right, and if you don't need all the bells and whistles that some other members of the MAX family offer, but you don't want a cheap radar detector either. You don't want something that you have to sit and babysit with a bunch of false alerts. The MAX3 really hits that sweet spot in terms of price and features. It's a single antenna design, which means that it's the only member of the MAX family that doesn't have directional alert arrows, and for some that might be a deal breaker. So every other member of the MAX family has directional alert arrows because they are a dual antenna design. Otherwise, the MAX3 offers 4 different sensitivity modes: highway, auto, auto no X, which shutters the X bands, and auto low K, which is our personal favorite, and 90% of the time, no matter what Escort radar detector we're running, we usually run in auto low K. These 4 different sensitivity modes are nice. You don't see that with a lot of base model radar detectors. You usually only get a city and a highway mode and that's it, but Escort gives you some flexibility here with the MAX3. Be that as it may, with the MAX3, you don't have the blackfin DSP. In fact, you don't have any digital signal processing at all. It's one of the things that separates the MAX3, hence the price. It's one of the things that separates the MAX3 from the other members of the Escort MAX family. You may find that if you're driving with the MAX3, you may experience more false alerts versus another Escort radar detector in the MAX family because it lacks that digital signal processing technology. The step up from the MAX3, the Escort MAX 360. You won't see this one on Escort's website, but it's still available on Amazon, and it's still a solid unit. It's one that we really enjoy driving with. Key features include directional alert arrows, which are on the right-hand side of the unit, good false alert filtering, an auto sensitivity mode, and a traffic sensor filter, or TSR for short, you'll see it abbreviated, which helps mitigate false alerts from digital road signage, especially any traffic flow type of signage. Even though it's a slightly older radar detector now, the MAX 360 really offers a high level of customization and personalization options, especially when you get into display colors and meter modes. And that level of customization really laid the groundwork for the rest of the Escort MAX family. The MAX 360C was the first modern radar detector I ever reviewed for Automoblog. So I go from my old radar detector in 2000 with the 3 little dots to the Escort MAX 360C, so it took me a while to get onto. Among the primary differences between the MAX 360, which we saw just a second ago, and the MAX 360C is that little C in the name, which stands for connected. Essentially, the MAX 360C can connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot. I do think the Wi-Fi capability is cool, but for the last few years since I've owned this MAX 360C, I've been fine connecting to Escort Live with Bluetooth, and I've been fine doing the firmware updates over my laptop via the detector tools on the Escort website. So you just connect the radar detector to your laptop versus doing it over Wi-Fi. For me, one of the biggest differentiators why I like the MAX 360C over the MAX 360 is back to that auto low K sensitivity mode, which is going to reduce that threshold and make it so you have less K-band falses. With the MAX 360C, you have the auto low K sensitivity mode. With the MAX 360, you don't. Even though arguably the Wi-Fi capability is the biggest difference between the two, the MAX 360 and the MAX 360C, my personal preference, I like the auto low K sensitivity mode. So even though the MAX 360 is a great radar detector, it doesn't have that sensitivity mode. So that is the reason personally why I tend to gravitate towards the MAX 360C. Because we have a lot of moving parts here, let's just do a quick review. At the entry level in the MAX family, we have the Escort MAX 3. Then we have the MAX 360. Then the MAX 360C with that C standing for connected for the Wi-Fi capability. Then we have the MAX 360 MK2 or Mark II, followed by the MAX 360C MK2 or Mark II, and then at the very top of the lineup, the Escort MAXcam 360C. Now for the MK2 models. For the MK2 models, we are back to the blackfin DSP that we talked about a few minutes ago. The blackfin DSP is one of the prime differentiators between the MK2 models, the new MK2 models, and the original MAX 360 and MAX 360C. The MAX 360 and MAX 360C have DSP, digital signal processing, which is why they are top-tier radar detectors to begin with. But the Mark II just does it to that next level. It does it faster, it does it more accurately, and it does it with more precision. And again, the blackfin DSP is helping the radar detector decipher between all the different radar sources that are out there. And it's prioritizing which threats are real and which threats are not, and then it's sending you that information, only the most relevant information. The other prime differentiator is what Escort calls an upgraded dual antenna platform. This dual upgraded antenna platform translates to greater detection range. So you have this upgraded dual antenna platform which provides longer range. 50% is Escort's number. So according to Escort, if you were to take the original MAX 360 and MAX 360C and put them up against the MK2 models, the MK2 models would have a 50% greater detection range. For us driving around Detroit, not only do we notice the range, but we go back to that Blackfin DSP, where range and length is good, but also range relevancy. Yes, you could open a radar detector up so it could detect everything ahead of you, but that might not be what you want. So the MK2 models, with that optimized antenna platform, that upgraded dual antenna platform, you do get the longer range detection, but then you also have the range relevancy. The threats, only the threats that matter, are the ones that are prioritized because of the Blackfin DSP integration. As far as the primary difference between the MAX 360 MK2 and the MAX 360C MK2, we go back to 2018 and the launch of the MAX 360C. That prime differentiator, again, being the ability to connect to Wi-Fi. Despite fundamental differences between each member of the MAX family, there are a number of similarities. Everything in the MAX family has a K-notch filter setting to reduce the number of false alerts caused by other vehicles with radar-based safety systems, like blind spot monitoring and collision avoidance. You will also find auto lockout capability in the Escort MAX family, which Escort calls Auto Learn Intelligence. If you drive by the exact same frequency in the exact same location approximately 3 times, and it's a false alert, the Escort detector will lock it out automatically. Likewise, MAX family detectors have a mark location feature to help you stay one step ahead of red light cameras and speed traps. Every member of the Escort MAX family is compatible with the Drive Smarter app, which has really improved in terms of the user experience from when we first started using it in late 2021. Through the Drive Smarter app, you can send and receive real-time alerts, change up the display, and experiment with different K and KA segmentation options or custom sweeps. The Drive Smarter app makes it easier if and when you need to reconfigure your radar detector on the fly. Every Escort radar detector uses the same suction cup windshield mount and the same 12-volt power cord. So if you have more than one Escort detector, you don't need to swap out the mount and the power cord each time. It's a one-size-fits-all application. So if you upgrade, say from a MAX 360 to a MAX 360 MK2, the unit will feel familiar despite the difference in performance. And those tones, the Escort radar detector tones. Yeah, all of those are the same, regardless of which radar detector you go with in the MAX family. We've covered a lot of ground, a lot of moving parts. Let's have one more review, and then I will leave you with some links and additional resources below. The MAX 3 is the entry-level detector in Escort's MAX family. It's a single antenna design, which means it's not going to have directional alert arrows, and it doesn't have DSP of any kind, so it might be more prone to false alerts. However, it's a good value for the money, and it offers things that we like the auto low-K sensitivity mode. Next is the MAX 360. Although it's not on Escort's website anymore, it's available on Amazon, and it's just a good solid radar detector all the way around, dual antenna design, directional alert arrows, and auto sensitivity mode, and DSP. Next, we have the MAX 360C that was unveiled at CES in January of 2018. Also not on Escort's website anymore, but available on Amazon. The C standing for connected or having that Wi-Fi capability. Then we come to the MK2 models, and you can think of them as sequels, if you will. The MAX 360 MK2 and MAX 360C MK2. The primary difference here between the original models is the integration of the Blackfin DSP and the upgraded dual antenna platform, and then the difference between the two MK2 models is that Wi-Fi connected car capability. And last but not least, at the top of the mountain, the MAXcam 360C, which is a 2-in-1 unit that combines a MAX 360C MK2 radar detector with a 1440p dash camera. And then if you just really want to go nuts, you go for the Redline with the stealth and the triple antenna design and the whole nine. As far as the items and the resources below, there are links to purchase every radar detector that we've talked about here. And then there's a couple videos that were done by Vortex Radar. Vortex is my hero in this space. Like I said, year 2000, silly little black box radar detector with 3 little green dots and then a red one for a 4th. And then I go to the Escort MAX 360C. So I watched his channel and I learned from him, I gleaned from him. So please support our friend Vortex Radar. Subscribe to his channel. I'll leave some additional links to his work below. And then please join us on the Radar Detector and Countermeasures forum. This is a great place for additional information and to ask questions. So if you get stuck on a settings menu, or if you're driving somewhere and you think, I don't know what maybe the best KA segmentation option is, if you're looking to upgrade a radar detector and you're not sure, join up with us on the forum and we will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. The Radar Detector and Countermeasures forum, I'll leave a link to that below. Thank you for watching and be sure to subscribe for more radar detector videos like this. Keep your eye on those KA bands too. Reporting in Detroit on behalf of Automoblog with our Escort MAX family radar detectors, I'm Carl Anthony.